It's been a year!
Woo! So, about a year ago, we purchased this boat and published our first video on our YouTube channel.
Yep. And in that year, question for us is, what have we learned?
Now, before we begin, gotta apologize, we've not been able to put out any videos for the past 4 months. Stuart had to go get a real job so that we could afford this very expensive boat.
She takes every penny.
Which left me to take care of the boat, and unfortunately that meant making videos had to take a back seat.
Mm-hmm.
But we're back!
Yeah!
More adventures!
More adventures!
More refit!
More refit!
More projects!
More projects! Bye-bye savings!
But we all love our boat.
Yep.
Before we talk about the lessons we've learned, gotta be honest, we are not the normal newbie sailors getting into sailing YouTube.
No, and in ways we are new, but in other ways we live a very different story than a lot of people that get into sailing.
So we started sailing right out of high school with our parents, which was in 2018. So we've been sailing pretty much continuously for
About
8 years. Our dad has taught us how to be shipwrights. So we've got all the how to do fiberglass, how to run cable,
and like work on engines, all that kind of stuff.
We're both certified as U.S. Coast Guard 50-ton captains.
We're both PADI dive masters. We both have a combined of 30,000 nautical miles sailed. That's 15 here, 15 here.
So we've done lots of sailing before. But this is the first boat we've ever owned.
Mm-hmm.
All of our other sailing has been on someone else's boat.
There's a big difference between crewing on a boat and owning and captaining on a boat. That's what I'd say.
Mm-hmm. So, to just catch you all up, we bought our first boat 1 year ago.
Yep.
And back then, our Hans Christian 48, which we bought then, was named Legacy, and we've since renamed her.
Mm-hmm.
We did some fixings in North Carolina where we bought her.
Yep, replaced toilets, we replaced running rigging, and I'm trying to think of all the projects we did. It was quite extensive.
Yeah.
Little bit we did there for that first month. Just to get her moving again.
All of that was just so that we could sail her north to Annapolis for the summer to do more refit. And that was where we got our first haul out done.
That was exciting. We hauled her out up in Annapolis. We painted the bottom. We replaced through hulls. Replaced a bunch of hoses.
Mm-hmm.
We also discovered a bunch of leaks.
Yes. So we had to go through several rainstorms, and we discovered like a bunch of hatches are leaking. That there's a screw in the combing around the cockpit that's leaking. Battery issues.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to figure out, because starting Labor Day last year, we started living fully off grid.
Pretty much. And we have aging AGMs and
not enough solar.
Not enough solar.
But we were able to figure that out.
We made it work.
And then we sailed south. Did a whole chunk of the ICW.
Yep.
All the way down to Charleston before making our first overnight passage.
That was fun.
Not to say we haven't done overnight passages before, but on this boat, it was the first time we ever did it.
Mm-hmm. We've had a lot of very lovely sails. We've had some not so fun sails. And plenty of
meh sails. They're not great, but they're also not the worst sails you've ever had.
So, lessons learned.
First lesson, paperwork.
Yeah.
So, it's been insane how much paperwork has gone into owning this boat. Even in the purchase stage,
there was a lot of paperwork that we had to do up front.
You got your insurance, you got your federal documentation, state licensing, and all of this gets doubled up because we didn't buy one boat. We bought two.
Yep, because the dinghy needs paperwork too. Yay!
And in the state of Florida, dinghy theft and motor theft are very common, which means additional paperwork.
So there was that. We learned a lot there.
There's also dealing with all the different paperwork for the transfer of ownership. And for us, that was all very new. And navigating and determining what the best path was, has been an adventure in of itself. All in all, it's been insane how much documentation and paperwork we've had to go through to manage the ownership of the vessel. But the good thing is, we can keep it all in one place. So, something that's really helped us with all our documentation and staying organized is having a folder. This one came from Boat Galley. And it's been a lifesaver in keeping all of our documentation together. Lesson number 2.
Lesson 2.
We've had to learn how to handle a project boat on a budget.
Yep.
On previous boats we've crewed on, we were the crew. We didn't have to pay for the projects. We just
did them.
That AC pump needs replaced. Replace it. Oh, here's how we replace it.
Run hoses. Run the wire.
Oh, hey,
we need fiberglass done.
The rudder's falling out of the bottom of the boat. Fix it up. But now we actually have to make all the decisions on how we spend the money, and it's been interesting learning how the costs add up faster than you think.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have marinas, the haul-outs and yard stays, parts, fuel, all the consumables.
And so now it's up to us to tell ourselves, hey, go run that hose. Go run those wires. Do the fiberglass.
And sometimes we'll have issues with the boat, and it requires creative thinking to save cash and time.
Like, it was just after Labor Day. Our engine was acting funnier and funnier, and just was... We couldn't get her to rev up the way we had her revving when we originally bought her. And we were puzzling it and being like, okay, so like, what's wrong? Maybe it's diesel bug, or...
Well, we were having an issue where the engine couldn't get over 1,500 RPM.
Yeah. And it's like, well, what's the issue?
And then suddenly it couldn't get over 1,200, and then it was 1,000, and we couldn't move forward in a chop.
And as we worked through the issue and we started trying to diagnose what we thought was fuel bug, we learned very quickly that no, we had a air leak because a priming bulb on the engine,
the priming lever on the engine had grown an air leak.
It would leak when you pumped it, and if it was leaking when you pumped it, when fuel was being sucked through it, it was sucking air through it as well, and now we have an air leak in the engine. And how do we fix that? Well, first option that seems reasonable is, just replace the part or rebuild it. Except our engine is now 35 years old. Yanmar does not make the parts for it anymore.
So the part we're looking at is difficult to source. Just finding a source is difficult. And the ones we found were over $100.
And if we were to get this one, it would have taken weeks, if not months, potentially, to get it. But we needed a fix then and there. What do we do?
So
we just then... it's all it is was a small filter to protect the engine.
We fixed it for about $20.
$20, and we put one inline. We replaced it with an inline filter, and that's gotten us by. Air leaks fixed.
Engine runs great.
Engine's running great again.
Eventually, we'll need to get the original part so that we have the priming lever again. But
it's a janky way to fix it. It keeps us going. When we are looking at doing a bigger engine overhaul to make her all pretty again.
One of the most important things for us is we want to keep the boat moving. We don't want to get stuck. So it takes those creative fixes. Another thing we've learned with this is many projects are cheaper if we do them ourselves. And what we spend in time is made up for the skills we learn. For example, we replaced all of our own running rigging. I can now. We both can make eye splices.
Yep.
Reading eyes.
I wouldn't say we are expert level, but I can make one in a day.
I've trusted. We trust them with our lives.
Yep.
We also figured out how to do a DIY refrigerator.
Mm-hmm. So that saga started way back in like last July. We bought this eBay kit for our own marine refrigeration, and it's this air-cooled system and everything. Only a few months ago, we finally got around to installing it, and that was an adventure. Besides having to figure out how to bend it and install it and put it all together, also had to learn a little bit of refrigeration tech and figuring out how to charge it and all that, because it was not. You go to one of the major brands, they'll sell you a kit that's pre-charged with nice little connectors, so you never have to play with refrigerant. This system had no refrigerant, so we had to charge it ourselves. We had to vacuum it before the charging, and it was a lot of work, and I learned a lot doing it.
But hey, we learned a new skill.
Learn new skills.
Also, we have enough charge left over to take care of every cruiser between Florida and Annapolis.
Maybe. But we can definitely fix our own refrigeration now.
So we've also had to delay some of our projects because they're either too expensive or whatnot, and we just had to suck it up.
Mm-hmm.
For example, we don't have AC on the boat yet because it's really expensive to install and requires a lot of through hauls.
Yeah, and even AC is a challenge, because you could do proper marine AC with like all the water lines and everything, but that's expensive, and on the hook it would require significant solar and battery upgrades. There is also options for doing like the smaller units, the portable kind, but it's like
the costs explode really fast. So we had to learn how to make do, even though we wish we had it last summer.
Well, there's other things that are taking priority over things like that.
The stern head has also been made into a storage room because replacing the head back there and making it so that it's all legal is going to take a lot of cash and effort, which is difficult to justify right now when we're on a tight budget, and we already have one head that is working just fine.
We also have a whole bunch of leaky hatches that we've been working through. Right now, it's just to get by. It's just a little bit of tape wherever they're leaking from, and that keeps us going.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely one of those things where it's like, either need to fix the leak or replace the hatch. That has to be pushed down the road, because bigger things have been taking priority again.
Also, the standing rigging is very old. We believe it's original.
Yep.
So we just have to go easy on it until we can afford the proper re-rig, which is going to include not just the stays, but probably the chain plates as well.
Yeah, the chain plate. We have the embedded chain plates, and the current best practice, I'd say, is just to replace those with external.
Mm-hmm.
So that's on the list.
We've also had to baby the engine as well, because it needs
a lot.
It needs new everything. Exhaust system.
Exhaust, turbo,
Heat
exchanger
exchanger
probably
maybe?
needs stuff. Fuel pump needs help. And
Injectors.
Injectors probably need cleaned.
And we have a lot of blow-by, and
We need that represents an oil leak with all that blow-by right now.
We've lost about half of our oil since departing Annapolis.
Just in blow-by. Yeah, that's... Or at least we think it's blow-by.
Lesson 3.
Lesson 3. We're expanding our comfort zone.
We've learned our limits.
We're learning the boat's limits, and the boat's limits, even if we were to list out all of her issues, her limits are still greater than ours at times.
Yes. So,
Previously, when we've crewed for other people,
sometimes we've just had to embrace the suck. like the one passage we did from Palm Beach to San Juan,
Yeah.
beating into 6-foot waves for a week.
Wee, 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 wee.
Not fun. I would probably not do that on my own boat, but you just, when the captain says you gotta go somewhere, you go.
You go. Okay, but we got to San Juan, and San Juan was awesome.
Beautiful. It was amazing.
And we arrived at around Christmas time, and
It was
that
an
was
awesome trip. Also, longest passage we've done.
Yep. Yeah. So boat
So
more capable than us.
Yeah.
Downwind, 25, 30 knots.
It was
On
rolling.
the Chesapeake.
It was so rolly.
It was cold.
Cold.
We're not cold weather sailors. We really need to buy some better foulies
And get this full surround on the
and
cockpit.
get a full surround on the cockpit.
But that was 25 to 30 knots, 6 to 8 foot seas. The boat didn't complain. I mean, the autopilot complained.
Autopilot complained, but it's a older autopilot system. It's gonna complain.
Boat didn't. She shrugged it off.
Awesome. We could have sailed all the way into Norfolk when we did that.
Yeah.
If we were just a little bit more confident with our sailing skills.
Mm-hmm. Another thing was we've had to learn how to make do with less, and we've really been able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, until we got that fridge replacement done in January, we didn't have a fridge. We only had a freezer on board.
Yeah, we only had this tiny little car fridge acting as a freezer, and that's all we had. So it wasn't like we were keeping
No eggs.
no eggs,
No veggies.
no veggies. Some veggies occasionally, but we had to eat them up pretty quick because no fridge. But now we do it, and we have eggs. I've made brownies. We've made cookies. We have a 2.5-pound bag of chocolate chips sitting in our fridge.
Another thing is we don't have modern navigation electronics, and we also are not running with an anemometer or AIS.
Yay! No one can see us, and we don't know what the wind's doing.
We can't see other people either. What do we do?
That's funny because I remember our night passage.
Mm-hmm.
You were off watch and asleep, and I was on watch. We were buddy-buddying with our parents, and we were going past the inlet into Brunswick, and there was a car carrier heading into Brunswick. And the car carrier saw our parents' boat, which has
It has everything.
five-year-old electronics at this point, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Hey, they can see you on AIS," and then we see some random radar target behind you. Yeah, pretty much. That was an exciting moment. They're dealing with that, so
We also
go around the back of this cargo ship because they're going into port.
We also have a very old radar, which means it doesn't have any of the special tuning that modern radars have. So the different gain, and you have to learn all the dials, and it takes a lot more skill and art to tune the radar.
I do enjoy that radar.
It's great.
It's a powerful radar. It shows you everything you want to see. I enjoy the art of using it, but I feel like it's very similar to the art of taking care of like a old diesel.
Also, I kind of wish we had it at the nav station, but the cable's this big. And
At the nav station?
or not at the helm. I wish we had it at the helm, which is
You're not getting it at the helm
no.
easy.
We also don't have the anemometer, so we've had to learn how to tell the wind strength by feel alone.
Our boat talks to us.
She is very talkative.
I remember we were sailing up into Chestertown from Annapolis. We try to sail as much as we could up to there because we're going to go see tallships. Let's sail there just like they would. And we tacked up the bay. We sailed through the bridge. It was a little, as the day progressed, it became stormy, and we had to deal with that. And it was like, the boat told us when she needed to reef, and she just loves to sail.
So a lot has happened over the past year, and we've learned a lot, more than we've ever expected.
So have we learned everything, and is there anything else for us to learn?
To be honest, I think the short answer is no. We haven't learned everything.
I think that's the more exciting answer, because like I really love learning.
It's a lot of fun to figure something out.
It is very rewarding after when you spend a week in the bilge trying to make something work, trying to troubleshoot it, going through the frustration of fixing your engine or installing a new fridge,
and then it works.
And then it works.
You pull it off. You make it click.
There is a joy in suddenly you can have that 2.5-pound bag of chocolate chips in your fridge. Suddenly your engine's working and you're able to motor out of the anchorage and to the next destination, or maybe just far enough to raise some sails and go for a sail up some random river to a small but incredible event of tall ships. There's been a lot of rewarding moments, just by doing everything that we've done to learn and keep this boat going.
So we still have a lot more to learn. So what's next?
Back to Annapolis, because we don't know how to make a plan and stick to it.
So we still have a lot more boat work to do, and we're going to do more in Annapolis, mostly because it's more liveaboard friendly there than down here in Florida.
Yeah. Didn't quite realize how difficult it would be to be on anchor here in Titusville. Or
in Cape Canaveral.
Just the Cape Canaveral area.
It's
Florida, everything gets really spread out, and suddenly you want to go to West Marine, it's an Uber drive. Grocery store, an Uber drive.
Or Instacart. Everything is further away, and it's harder to get to, and that's why we're going back to Annapolis. But with the regulations here and everything getting closed down, we can't stay here.
And to be honest, we don't like to sit still right now. We thought, we could sit still for a year here and get the boat fixed up. No.
So going to Annapolis will also make it easier for us to get to where we want to spend the winter next winter.
We're thinking North Carolina. Where this boat has spent a few winters.
Yep. So there's a lot of trades there. Marinas are cheaper, which will make it easier to put the boat somewhere so we can focus on doing the refit.
Sail makers, there's all kinds of stuff to look forward to in North Carolina.
So over the next 12 months, we're going to try and get all that refit work done. The engine, the rigging, we got to do the bottom again. A lithium upgrade. Adding more solar. We got to get over 600 watts. Upgrade the plumbing.
Plumbing needs an upgrade.
Get that stern head renovated. We got to take care of the deck.
Yeah, we need to take care of the teak decks. Teak decks are shot.
The teak needs to be stripped. An epoxy varnish was used. We got to strip that and
true. You do all that would work. On.
Also, North Carolina will be great to stage for our next big adventure.
We were thinking about doing this big adventure of going north, sailing the Great Lakes for the summer, and then shooting south. It'd be big. It'd be awesome. Sailing every day.
Next summer, we want to sail north, go through Nova Scotia, and take the St. Lawrence Seaway to the Great Lakes.
We're going to sail all the way to Duluth, turn around, hit Cleveland in August.
It's going to be a lot of miles.
Sailing every day.
So we got to get the boat ready.
Boat needs to get ready.
And that's why we want to get the refit done as quick as we can so we can do this big sail.
Big sail.
And so this summer we go north, go to North Carolina. Then so September of 2027, we'll be back in Annapolis for the show. And then we can continue on our world adventures.
Bahamas, Bermuda.
Matt, so we have that all to look forward to.
Yep.
Exciting things.
We have a lot of exciting ideas. Now we just need to figure out how to make them happen.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So with that, thank you for watching.
See you next time.